Argonne Forest. The shadowy depths of the Argonne Forest is the scene of some of the most brutal close-quarter combat in Battlefield 1. The world inside the forest features devious defensive setups combined with a labyrinth of bunkers and machine gun nests, camouflage field guns firing at point-blank range, stormtroopers clearing out bunkers with gas, and the best use of sharpened spades will determine who owns the depths of this forest. Heroes are forged surviving the intensity of this infantry-focused map. Given the new technology of the Frostbite engine, I just can't wait to take the battle into the forest. And the fact that this is an infantry-focused map leads me to think that if there is a behemoth here, we'll probably end up seeing the armored train again, since there is a train in one of the screenshots. And for those of you who may have missed some of the other Battlefield map announcements, this one is Amiens, which is a French city that's close quarter building fighting, and also looks like it's going to have the train behemoth. And then of course there's Monte Grappa, which was shown in a bunch of trailers and stuff. I think we know that the airship is going to be in this map. It's a very vertical looking map with the Venetian Alps, and the Italians are assaulting this mountain fortress, and clearly there's going to be some airplanes in it as well. Looks very cool, very outdoorsy. And then of course we have Empire's Edge, described as an Italian coastal map. We already see the Dreadnought in this one. We see airplanes. It looks like it's going to have a cool mixture of naval and potentially infantry and even aerial combat all in one map. Then of course we have the Alpha and Beta map, leaving us with a total of 9 maps at launch, but also another free map in December. The map's name is Giant's Shadow. Its description reads, "Prepare to take part in the Battle of the Cell in the cold autumn of 1918. Here, the fighting moves out of the trenches and into the open country, where a massive crashed airship casts its shadow onto the battlefield. The British forces have broken through the Hindenburg Line and are now in pursuit towards an important railway center. Fierce infantry and tank engagements ensue on the open ground and river banks alongside the Cateau-Waisengi Railway, where an armored train can still turn the tide. Giant Shadow will be coming for Battlefield 1 as part of a free update in December." Other than the description, we really don't know much else. I'm hoping to see a little bit of snow though, considering it takes place during the winter. Now, beyond the maps that are shipping with the game, DICE has also outlined the game modes. We have Conquest, Domination, Operations, Rush, Team Deathmatch, and then War Pigeons. Now, I did mention some of these game modes in sort of the leaked files video a little while back, but we do have a bit more information on War Pigeons. In the War Pigeons game mode, the opposing sides compete to use messenger pigeons to call in artillery barrages on the enemy. When the game starts, a pigeon coop with a messenger pigeon is placed somewhere on the map. Locate the pigeon before the enemy and carry it to a safe location out in the open. There you prepare a message and send it off, calling for artillery support. Once a message is successfully sent, an artillery barrage will strike the enemy. And based on some of the previous data mining, I believe this is going to be a smaller game mode, probably infantry focused. Now, the data mining also brought up a game mode called Air Superiority, which is in previous Battlefield games, and it wasn't announced as one of the game modes that's going to ship with the game at launch. Either that means the game mode isn't finished yet, or they're saving it for an expansion. Now, for those of you who might have missed it, on the 19th, DICE posted a pretty good write-up talking about the feedback that they received from the community and some of the bigger changes that they're going to make to the game based on the beta feedback. And this is really cool, and it's just nice to have a dialogue basically with DICE. We played the beta, we all spoke and argued about different balance mechanics, what we liked, what we didn't like, and DICE took in all this information, judged it, decided what to do, and have made changes accordingly. And of course, one of the biggest issues that was discussed was the Conquest game mode, and this is what DICE had to say. When we build a new Battlefield game, it's important for us to try new things. We want to stay fresh and renew the franchise with each new installment. However, it's equally as important that we take the feedback that you, the community, are giving us. This is why we're going to be making changes to the Conquest game mode ticket system for launch. The next time you play the game, capturing an objective and getting kills will both contribute towards the score of a Conquest match. You have spoken, we have listened. Now, this is important because they don't mention returning to the classic Conquest system. They don't mention anything about being able to stop ticket bleed if you control more flags than the enemy team. And that's a pretty important thing that they left out, because it means that they're not actually changing Conquest back to the classic system. They're just making it so that kills count towards the scoreboard so they don't feel as trivial in the new game mode. but it seems to be more of a hybrid between the new mode and the old mode. And we'll really just have to wait and see until launch how well this new mode plays out. One of the other complaints and one of my concerns is that they're not going to have enough comeback potential in Conquest, whereas old Conquest basically allowed you to make a comeback by stopping the ticket bleed by owning more flags than the enemy team, whereas the new mode basically never stops that. So you have to like completely dominate the enemy team in order to have a meaningful comeback. Now, DICE also made this statement about Rush. We have also been monitoring and listening to your comments in regards to the Rush game mode. It's super exciting for us to bring back Rush for Battlefield 1, and we are aiming to make it the best Rush experience to date. We are making tweaks to the game mode as we speak, with your feedback as the backbone for the entire process. Now, this is definitely a fairly vague response, and that might be in part due to the fact that Rush is a somewhat complex game mode in terms of balancing. Each MCOM could require different things in order to make it play out properly, so specifics might not actually give us as much information as we think we're getting, but it would have been nice to hear something about the tanks or perhaps the player count of the game mode being locked in at 24. Is any of that going to be changed? We won't really know until launch. Now, towards the end of the post, they also mentioned nerfing the light tank, which was definitely one of those vehicles that I saw a lot of people just obliterating and topping the scoreboard when they got in the light tank. So I believe it's going to get an armor reduction based on some tweets. And then also they talked about getting the support class some good anti-armor gadgets. We already know that the support is getting a mortar, but I think DICE might be talking about something else here. And we saw something about an anti-vehicle mine that you might like slap on the side of a vehicle. So maybe support is getting that gadget. That would be kind of cool. Maybe that can be a fairly big game changer. It sounds like it could be a close range weapon though. We'll have to wait and see. They also mentioned getting some of the better anti-tank weapons into your hands earlier. So I imagine that might be referring to the AT rocket gun. Rather than making that an unlock requirement, they might give that to you by default at the start or make it very easy to get. And this could help put a little bit more power back in the hands of the infantry when it comes to tank versus infantry combat. Anyway, that's quite a bit of news regarding Battlefield 1. It's exciting. It's nice to hear at least respect.
Cam, what was your thought on that play? Just try and pick up the ball and move it upfield, or?
This was a bad loss.
I know it's a disappointing game.
During the fumble, what
Obviously,
was
you're
your thought
disappointed.
process? Cam, over here.
Look, this is who Cam Newton is. You saw him in the press conference. The guy is a terrible loser. He can't stand losing.
It's 3rd and 9.
Now, growing up, BD or GD, which one are you affiliated with?
Black Disciple.
Okay.
But we got GDs with us too.
Okay. So was you born into that, or was that like a decision you had to make?
It's like on some real shit. Like my pops raised me to be a gangster disciple, because that's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, I was under that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, but I ain't really know what none of that shit meant. I didn't know what none of that shit was. You know what I'm saying? I was just there because that's what my pops told me to do. And when I grew up to become a man, become my own man, bro, I became BD, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Learned everything I was supposed to learn about that shit.
So your dad he's a GD or BD?
My dad a GD.
Okay, so but you grew up into being a BD.
Yeah.
Okay, is that just like off like being around certain people who was BDs?
All my cousins and my cousins and all my people, you know what I'm saying? This is really a majority BD area, but it's GD blocks around too. Yeah. Like, so it's just like it was really with me. The biggest thing with me that really made me get into being BD is when they killed my homie Devon. We called peace. They called peace with us, and killed them the next day. The GDs did.
Yeah.
I grew a hate for them, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Cause I was like, I held them in my arms. It's like, you know what I'm saying? This last month. So shit, that shit fuck me.
Shorty.
What was Shorty's? What was he about? Shit, like that's the origin of the neighborhood. You feel me, bro?
My bad.
No, come on, you trying to come up here, bro?
Oh, okay, come on.
No, yeah, that's the origin of the neighborhood though. And like we got crossed by the gangsters that was with us too. You know what I'm saying? They set us up and got our homies already killed too. You feel me? Like so, it's deep with that shit, bro. So you know, like, that's why we were strong on the GDK shit because it was like it was personal. You know what I'm saying? Like, they did a lot of fucked up shit. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 25 now. You feel me? So that shit is about 7, 8, 9 years ago. You know what I'm saying? That shit ain't like that.
Right. So, but isn't that against the street code to like switch over? Like, how did that?
Nah, like, cause I'm in the same, like, when it started, it was together, like, Black Gangster Disciples. It's the same literature, all type of shit, bro. It's all the same, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, now, if I would've went from the 6 to the 5, bro, that would've been foul as hell. I would've turned to a Black Stone or something. What you did? Like, that's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, half this city, like, the origin, like, you go back 20 years ago, they done flipped whole neighborhoods from GDs to BDs, you feel me? Like real shit, like, niggas know their Chicago, know their history and shit. Like, Newtown was the first one, you know what I'm saying? They went to flip the whole everybody into, you know what I'm saying? Because they later got locked up, they lost their structure, you know what I'm saying? Niggas had to go where, you know what I'm saying? Niggas had to go to where they was really taken care of, really got some knowledge, some real shit going on.
600 Breezy was popping.
What's good, baby?
Man, I came all the way to Chicago, man. And I asked everybody, I asked my following. I got like probably like 100K throughout Twitter and Instagram. Who should I interview out of Chicago? And it was you and Rico Reckless.
Yeah,
it was both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to hear what you got to say because there's been so much going on.
Man, look, that shit right there, bro. Like, it's kind of hype right now because he made the little song dissing everybody in Chicago. He knew I was gonna play. He knew I was gonna play because, you know what I'm saying? I ain't like the rest of these niggas. See, I'm really outside this interview. We on Steve's Drive right now. We, you know, Brick City 600. We right here. We in the trenches.
Right now let's take it all the way back to your childhood. Now you from Southside Chicago.
Born and raised right here.
Okay.
Right here. My grandma right there. You feel me? My pops right there. My little brothers and shit. You feel me? My granny been standing in that crib for, 22 years, 23 years, 25. Yeah. I was born in the hospital across the park.
Yeah.
It's the hood.
Right, okay, now growing up, what was it like coming up out of the south side of Chicago?
Like, bro, like, right here, like, even the police will tell you, like, they got a certain type of love for us because we played basketball and shit. Like, we was good kids back here, bro. Niggas fucked with us and made us get into the streets. Like, we had to deal with the gun balance and shit to protect ourselves, you know? So right here, this area right here alone is crazy. Yeah. This area is
right, now you spoke on this being the red zone, right?
This the red, like, if you look it up, like, you can Google it and all type of shit, it's gonna show you in the middle of the red zone.
Okay.
Like last night, like 147 shots we let off, like right in the next block.
Yeah.
It's like that, bro.
Right. Okay. Now, growing up, what kind of student was you in school?
Bro, I was an honor roll student, bro. Good kid, bro. You can ask my pops right there playing softball with my little brother, bro. Like, I was an honor roll student, bro. I went to school, got good grades, got straight A's. And a lot of people from this block, shit, you know? Like, but it was just, like, matter of fact, I made it for my senior year of high school, bro. I couldn't go to school no more because niggas was trying to kill me every day, you feel me? Over fights and bitches and shit, like little shit, you feel me? Like, and I was always kind of bigger than them, so, you know what I'm saying? That shit.
Did you graduate on time?
I graduated on.
So you didn't graduate?
Bro, it was niggas was walking in my school, putting on uniforms just as, you know, trying to get at me. Like,
wow.
Real shit, bro. It was crazy like that. Like, and my school was right here on 55th and Low, so I get on the bus, get off, on King Drive 55th. I had to walk up to right here.